All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X Zone Broadcast Network worldwide. If you'd like to give us a call, toll free, 1-800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our website at www.xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour is no stranger to the X-Zone. Butch Witkowski is our special guest. He's the director of the UFO Research Center of Pennsylvania. And he's also the editor of the Journal of Abnormal Abduction Research. And he's been investigating and speaking on the UFO phenomenon for nearly 25 years now. And to date, he's investigated or been involved in 1,506 investigations of UFO and alien abduction phenomenon. He's been on international radio shows, TV shows, and he's given numerous speaking engagements at conferences and presentations. Now, the UFO Research Center of Pennsylvania was founded in 2009 to look for the truth of alien existence with the use of multidisciplined investigators and researchers to enhance the fact-finding into the UFO phenomenon. Along with the latest investigation techniques and technologies, forensics, and the best equipment available today, they may help bring about disclosure. Their primary objective is to pursue both historical and new cases that arise with sincere hopes of bringing resolution to some of the cases of high strangeness. Joining me now from the beautiful state of Pennsylvania is Butch Witkowski. And Butch, welcome back to the X-Zone.
My pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks, Butch. How are you guys still as busy as ever, getting more and more reports? What's going on out there?
Yeah, a lot of triangles, still a lot of orbs. Matter of fact, right before the show, I just got a picture sent in that I didn't even really look at yet, but it looks like the standard orange orb that people are seeing all over the state and pretty much all over the country and the world.
Wow. Would you say that UFO sightings are on an increase, Butch?
Yes.
Are the basic UFO, or are they basically triangles, or are they the disc shape, or are they now coming in a variety of descriptions?
Mostly triangles. Recently, a lot of flat squares, which could be just the angle at the photograph or the viewer noticed it.
Right.
The orbs, of course, being round and multicolored, either white or red or orange. Mostly orange is the color that's most dominant.
Based on any investigation that you've done into the orange color orb, do you have any hypothesis on what they could be or where they're coming from?
I've heard everything from scout ships to the U.S. government, the standard stuff. Means that nobody knows what they are and they have no explanation for them.
You've got a journal that you're putting out called the Journal of Abnormal Abduction Research. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the journal actually is a runoff of, if you're familiar with Elaine Douglas, who passed away back just a couple months ago. She ran my Utah branch, and we had talked for a number of times about resurfacing that she had the original JAR magazine. It was JAR, and it was a journal of abduction research, and it started in 2007. I believe it ended in 2009. It just got sidetracked, and all of a sudden it was having paranormal ghost stories put in there, and it just went by the wayside. It wasn't working. So we had talked about starting this up, and Thursday, which would have been 3 days before she passed away, I had the first copy out to her to review before I posted it, and unfortunately she passed away that Tuesday morning.
Oh, heavens.
The magazine is it's really a journal that's going to feature all writings from researchers that are out there, both here and abroad, case studies, landmark cases, and it's also going to be an outlet where we can highlight the different support groups that are out there and available for the abductees, being that there is no abduction databases at all, although there is a lady in Quebec, Canada, that is working on one right now, and there is a gentleman in Northern California, I believe, that's working on, Northern Oregon that's working on one. Abduction has always been put to the side, but it's a very real thing. It's as much of a phenomenon as the UFOs that we see all the time.
All right, Butch, stand by. You and I have to take our first commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Exonation, Butch Witkowski is my special guest. www.uforcop.com. That's www.uforcop.com. This is the X Zone. My name is Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to send me an email, it's a very simple email address. I've had it for 20-some-odd years now. xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. Butch and I return on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifeology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled lite.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Explanation, Butch Witkowski is my special guest. He is the gentleman behind www.uforcop.com. And Butch, it's always great having you on the show. Just before we went to the break, we started to talk about the alien abduction phenomenon. And are you getting more and more cases of alien abductions being reported? And why hasn't the UFO community taken as much care and attention to the alien abduction phenomenon as they have been with UFO reports? Aren't they just both part of the same package?
Yes, they are. And the uptake in abductions over the last 2 years has been 18%.
Wow.
I had checked with Dr. David Jacobs, excuse me, a couple months ago and said to him, did he notice anything? And he went through his files and he said, yes, he did notice an increase. And then when we did the numbers on ours, it came up to about 18% increase over 2 years. The UFO community has made attempts at it. Back in 1998, you had the start of the MUFON AMP project, the Ambient project, which went by the wayside, I believe, in 2008. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they've not published any of the results of that testing. And the AMP project was basically they put a device into the person's home, an abductee, and it would measure temperature and a whole bunch of things electronically. And then the abductee would also keep a journal. And then after a certain period of time, the device and the journal was collected, and all this was going to be put together. I think they had 13 or 14 people involved in the test. And then it came out that, to do all the study and to get all the numbers and to do all it was going to be like, I forget, it was an outrageous amount of money, so they just shelved it. And now I understand that they're revamping, trying to get the information together, and they have somebody that has volunteered to do the work. I'm not familiar at all with the AMP project. It's something we're just starting to look at as we got more information on it. But then also, MUFON has now an abduction group, which I believe is headed by Kathleen Marden. Mm-hmm. And there's 6 or 7 folks also involved in that. Denise Stoner's one of them. And they are to, as I understand, handle all the abduction cases that come in. But until we see the results of what's coming in and what they're finding, it's just another database.
Tell me, Butch, with your experience as being a former investigator with MUFON, the former chief investigator with MUFON, over the years that MUFON has been in existence, have they actually come up with any concrete evidence to say unequivocally that, yes, we are being visited by extraterrestrials from another planet?
Not that I've ever seen in writing.
No way.
Talk, great talk at conferences, but throwing the information out there with the proof, I think, has yet to be done.
Let me ask you this, Butch. Why do you think that humans are being abducted by extraterrestrials?
Boy, you got me there. I'll tell you. We'll take the food factor out. That was a very old movie that was on television when I was a kid. I think the study of DNA is probably the biggest thing gone. I guess there's room in that thinking for the hybrids, the development of hybrids. But, you're talking about, our space brethren who've probably been here for thousands of years. So, you can only open up just like cattle mutilation. You got one cow and you mutilate it, and okay, so now you got one abductee and you go all over them inside and outside. So what did you learn? So there has to be something there that is, I would say, malevolent. I get that argument a lot that people say, well, they are benevolent, they're here to help us, they're here to do this, they're here to do that. Well, I haven't seen any of that, but I have seen the other side. You talk to one of these abductees that has been, going through it for 10, 15, 20 years, and they're a wreck. Yeah. They're barely able to function, and I don't see that as being benevolent. If they were so benevolent and they took somebody to get whatever they wanted and they put them back, why didn't they make them smarter, rich, president of the United States or whatever? I don't know.
Do you think there's a connection or a correlation between the the extraterrestrial presence, the